Magic in the Morning with Ace of Base, back in the day, taking it in the 90s, early 2000s, and taking it at 8:35. And we have a weekly installment with Mike Barrett from Barrett Insurance Agency, and Mike in the studio to start the year off. First off, a Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, too. It's been a year since I've seen you, or I haven't seen you since last year, I guess is the line, right?
Yeah, it hasn't been a year. I can check our archives, and I can go to your YouTube page and your website.
Just a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Took last week off. Sorry about that. I just had a busy schedule, and Tuesday came and went.
What are you sorry about, man? It was a holiday season. We told everybody you were together with a family, and that's what it's all about.
That's all it's about.
So good policies, part of our Tuesday broadcast here, 8:35. We've been doing it for a stretch of time. And Mike, with a new year, a common denominator, New Year's resolutions, we've had a record number of folks, according to National News, get married on 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 dates.
1, 2, 3, yeah.
So that's a change in life which could affect your insurance. But let's talk about New Year's resolutions and insurance.
You know, New Year's resolution that you should make that's easy to keep is to pay just a hint more to your insurance needs. And you don't have to spend every day focusing on it. Once a year, just pay pretty close attention. Don't just get something in the mail from the insurance company or your insurance agent and just toss it to the side. Pay attention to it. Maybe something worthwhile looking into. Maybe an opportunity for you to get broadened coverage on your policy. Maybe you look at your homeowner policy and go, oh, that seems high. Oh, that seems low. Your input is invaluable through this process. This is not a one-sided thing. It's a contract between you and an insurance company, and you are a party to that contract. So, you know, your involvement's pretty crucial. So just pay attention. Maybe things have changed. Maybe you've gotten older. Maybe you've decided that you want more liability protection and the lower limits that you've had for years aren't sufficient. Or maybe there's a vehicle still on your policy that you sold 2 years ago. You know, these are all things that we see all the time, where people have actually sold a home and never told us. Well, I thought the bank would tell you. Why would the bank tell me? They're not party to the contract. You are. So just taking a little bit more effort into the fact that if something changes, just think of the insurance ramifications. And if you don't know the answer, get the answer. Call us.
Well, two things that people think about, or at least me, I'll use me as the example. When I think about their insurance, one, the expense.
Yeah.
And two, what am I going to get if something happens to me? And I don't mean that in a bad way.
No.
You mentioned liability, okay? I'm assuming you are referencing your automobile insurance coverage. We've talked about this multiple times over the past year at least, how the cost of everything has gone up. The cost of vehicles now, you used to be able to replace a car for $20,000. You can't do that anymore, and that's what a lot of the state minimums are, right?
Right. And if you're thinking about you becoming liable for property damage to somebody else's home, vehicle, or even a sign or a guardrail or a telephone pole, you know, you're barking up the right tree when you're saying that vehicles are more expensive, but all the things I just listed are more expensive. So there's a lot of potential cost there if you don't have appropriate liability. Not even to mention the medical component of it. And one thing that caught my ear when you said, well, you were talking liability, I assume you're talking auto. Not necessarily, because there was a liability component to homeowners policies and renters insurance policies. And maybe you have a $300,000 limit. And maybe you could find out that, you know what, I could increase that to $500,000 for $7 a year. Or I could get an umbrella policy and get $1 million of extra liability for $150 a year. I mean, there's so many discovery phases in there that you really could take advantage of, because again, you know, having proper protection is not about being happy about buying something that you don't want to ever use. It's about having to use it and knowing that you've got the right coverage there for you when it happens. That's the hard part.
Well, insurance, no matter what the coverage for, is for the event of an accident, which is why they're called accidents, not on purposes.
Touche. To quote my lovely bride. Yeah.
Yes. Nobody plans that your cousin Tim's little Johnny is going to trip and fall in the pool, or get on the trampoline and sprain his ankle,
or fall down the icy steps leaving after New Year's night. You know, I mean, there's so many things that can change somebody's life in just a blink of an eye. And I get it. I mean, we're all in this together. I mean, I don't drink the Kool-Aid for this industry. I have just been in it long enough where I've seen the advantage of having proper coverage versus the disadvantage of not having the proper coverage. So it's about a balancing act. What can you afford, what makes sense for you. It's not a one size fits all. There are people who are more of the gambling kind that want to go low and hope for the best. And that's completely fine. That's their prerogative. But it's about having the information before you make that decision.
Well, and insurance companies on all facets will give perks or bennies to folks that have been with them for a while. Like I've heard of insurance companies out there having first-time glass replacement with no deductible and things along those lines. And these are decisions that an insurance company will make throughout the year.
Yeah.
So we go back to the importance of at least having a conversation with your agent at least once a year.
Absolutely. And remember, we're still in a hard market. So we're still in a time where insurance is expensive and companies' level of underwriting scrutiny is still at a high. So, it may not be the best time to shop, but it might be the best time to dial it in. So something to think about as a New Year's resolution.
That's right. Make that down to the bottom of your 10 New Year's resolutions. You've got that empty spot.
Yeah. If you could move us to maybe the 9th spot, that'd be fine. Just don't make us the last one. Make us 9.
Change the numbering. Check your insurance. Talk to your agent. Mike, it's a new year. Let's wrap it up.
Absolutely. So if you want to get in contact with us, give us a call at 748-5224. Find us on Portland Street in St. Johnsbury, online, thebarrettagency.com, Google, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Just look for Barrett Insurance Agency.
And Magic in the Morning at 8:35's music from Pink coming up. Day closer to the weekend.